What's the upset alert meter at right now? For example, Alabama plays Florida State. The whole talk around that thing, Bama minus 13.5, by the way, is Bama going to cover or not? And no one's talking about whether Florida State's going to win. I think I saw one person on ESPN pick Florida State to possibly pull the upset. I don't know whether they were serious or not because, truthfully, I just saw it on Twitter. I don't know if it was real life. Bama is down Tim Keenan. They are down Jam Miller. That's a starting defensive lineman and running back, respectively. How would this upset happen? Weather is going to be a big threat here. I'm not going to lie to you. Bama folks, you remember the Michigan Bowl game? Could look that way. Could look that way. I can't guarantee you thunderstorms. It's Florida, so it could be sunny 1 minute, thunderstorms the next minute, but it's a threat here. I don't know who that favors. I'm just saying it's a threat. Malzahn, Castellanos. You got a new OC, you got a new quarterback, and if they get rolling on third down like Vandy did against Alabama last year, 12 of 18, famously, if they get a ceiling game out of Tommy Castellanos, if Ty Simpson is shaky in his first start, albeit on the road, or I guess above and beyond that, on the road, if FSU's talent roster is just better, much better than their record last year were to indicate that they were, if all that were to happen, it's not like it's a 30-point spread. It's 13.5. I got this at a 4.5 on the upset alert concern meter. I actually like Alabama to win and cover. But you know what? I think I liked them against Vandy last year, too. I probably leaned them against Oklahoma, too. So what does that really mean? It's week 1. No one knows anything in college football. I'm putting that at a 4.5. Next up, this game's in Atlanta. This one I have a little bit more concern about. It is Tennessee and Syracuse. You know how I feel about neutral site games. I'll talk more about that in the show later. So Tennessee, a lot of unknown here. They're favored by 13.5 against Syracuse. You got a new quarterback, obviously. You got new running back talent to break in. You got new wide receiver talent to break in, new offensive line talent to break in. And not only is your quarterback new, you didn't even have him in spring. That's old hat. We've talked about that a lot. The thing that I try and avoid if I'm a Tennessee fan is the disaster scenario in my head, but I can't get it out of my head. So I have a very, very high level of respect for Syracuse under Fran Brown. They lost players in the portal. They lost their quarterback from last year he's graduated. He's gone. There's a lot to pick apart about Syracuse. There's a reason Tennessee's favored by nearly 2 touchdowns here. Here's the thing about these openers, and especially in the openers because you don't have a profile of the team yet this year. So if you're setting odds on a game, you're kind of going based off data that is equally calibrated. Some teams have better competitive character. Some programs have better competitive character than other programs. And my concern, if I'm a Tennessee fan, is I'm looking at this, and the concern about Tennessee folks, as far as I could tell, is, boy, are we going to be ready by the time Georgia comes to town? And I hate it because Syracuse can be very dangerous for you. I don't care who they lost to the portal, and Steve Angeli, new quarterback, left Notre Dame for this opportunity, kind of like we had a guy leave, Kyle McCord leave Ohio State for an opportunity at Syracuse last year. I just think if Syracuse pops you early, if you look on your bottom ticker and it's 7-0 Syracuse, 11 and change left in the first quarter, it's just going to be a dogfight of a game. I also wonder, Joey Aguilar being as new as he is in Heupel's system and being as turnover prone as he was last year at App State, I just wonder the timing, the rhythm, the calling a play to put a ball in a spot because a receiver or a pass catcher should be there. Does it just look like that? Or does it look a little herky-jerky? I was watching the opening of this USF Boise game, and there were a couple of screens that just took forever to develop. That stuff can happen once and turn a football game because you got a corner going to the house because you took a little bit too long. It doesn't take much. That's what timing and rhythm in an offensive play is all about. And when you thought you were going to be playing at UCLA as late as the end of spring and you're in Knoxville, Tennessee now, yeah, you're not opening against Georgia. Yeah, it is Syracuse, but they can give you trouble. I'm putting a 6 on this game. I'm concerned about it. I took Syracuse in the points. Heupel can go win 38-10 for all I know, but I do have concern about it, so it is on my upset alert meter. Not Washington. I got to talk about them later in the show too, though. Utah Do you know what they do week 1? They play UCLA. Utah is a 5.5-point favorite. The model solidly leans Utah. So even though this line is much lower than the Tennessee-Syracuse line, I have equal concern on it. I've got a 6 on the upset alert meter. Devon Dampier or Nico Iamaleava. Well, that's a pretty immature way to break this game down, the quarterback comparison. But I do believe in the quarterback offensive coordinator acquisition strategy. Notably, Oklahoma has done that this past offseason. And you know who else did it? Utah did it. They just went to New Mexico to do it. They've been talking a lot. They've been whispering a lot about Devon Dampier. And we finally get to see him. This should be a conference game, but it's not because nothing about the college football landscape makes sense. So Utah and UCLA in different conferences, confri, plural of conference. I believe in UCLA. I believe they're a good deal better this year. I do believe they improved themselves, but they were 113th in returning defense in the last metrics that we ran, the last refresh we ran. I assume nothing's changed. And so I do have a little concern here for Utah, but I actually think Utah is going to go on the road and get this done. I like Utah. I'm tempted to bet Utah. I think they win by 7 or more. So I'm going to put a 6 on it because I do respect that UCLA is improved here, but I think Utah is improved as well. And unlike UCLA that's trying to sort of get to a level for the first time in a long time, I'm just looking for Utah to bounce back to that level. Toledo is at Kentucky. Hey, wait just a second. Appreciate you guys watching. Most of you are subscribed. If you're not, please do so. It's free. It helps us keep the show free, and that's how we do college football year-round. All right, back to the video. Everyone's terrified. This game has been the talk of upset alert circles that I participate in and I am a member of. These are clubs. These are closed clubs, upset clubs, UCs, as Meemaw used to call them. And I'm part of several of them. And the talk in the cigar smoke-filled lounges all summer is, you taking Toledo? Well, it's time. Put up or shut up. They're going into Lexington. Kentucky is a 10.5-point favorite. This thing got all the way down to 7.5. Someone found some extra money. Matt Jones, somebody up there found some extra money and bet on Kentucky. That thing's back up to 10.5. There is not much juice around the Kentucky program. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. It just means they have to possess more than most people think they're capable of, including their own fan base, from what I can tell. Zach Calzada is the starting quarterback there by way of Incarnate Word, by way of Texas A&M. I mean, this dude beat Alabama once upon a time, lest we forget, including me, because I had a credential to the game and I flew home. Yeah, that Zach Calzada. Toledo is top 15 in offensive returning production. They are favored to win the MAC. They have an over-under win total of 8.5. That's one of the highest out of the G5. I am petrified of this game. I'm putting an 8.5 on the upset alert concern meter. And I have more to say about this later on when it comes to the Ramen Noodle Express. I hope I've been specific enough. A couple of games before I get to Georgia Tech. A couple of games, I'm not going to break them down, that I was concerned about early on. I did some digging. I'm less concerned. My Iowa State Cyclones. They are playing South Dakota. And everyone is yelling about how you need to be very careful with South Dakota. Well, what Iowa State needs to be careful about is they just played in another country a week ago. Inexplicably, they don't have a bye this week. Neither does Kansas State. And so they've come home. They're getting ready to play a team that's very good from the FCS ranks. The problem is when you're good in the FCS, you get gutted by the portal. So this dynamic has changed in the last few years. I know you may have this blanket, just blind warning sign on this game because of the travel dynamics. I think Iowa State will be okay here. Not the most aesthetically pleasing game, but I have a relatively low concern on the upset alert concern scale, 3. And Montana State is at Oregon. Our boy Taylor Lewan put this on one of his, not upset alert specials, but one of his picks against the number. Montana State's getting like 27.5 or something like that. They also returned virtually nothing from last year's team that did very notable things at the FCS level. I want you to remember something. Oregon sucked to start the year last year. Everybody up there knows it. Dan Lanning knows it. They were getting sacked left and right. They did not get off to a fast start. I think there may be a little more urgency in week 1 around there this year. So I actually think Oregon's going to win and cover this number. I have no concern about Oregon. As for Georgia Tech, they play on Friday. So we're talking on Thursday. They play tomorrow. You may be listening to this Saturday morning. That's why I saved this game for the end of the segment. I don't appreciate you guys waiting and listening to me in the past, talk about a game that's in the past, because it's very easy for me to sound stupid on a game that's already happened. Or maybe a genius. I don't know, probably in that order. The line has moved towards Colorado here in the last 24 hours. So, Georgia Tech's 4.5-point favorite right now. It is yet another in about a line of 5 or 6 games in week 1 that has a number attached to it, and I fully respect the people who make those numbers. I see the model in some cases agreeing with those numbers, and I'm sitting over here saying, I'll have to see it to believe it. I'm going to have to see Colorado hang, at least to that degree, like inside a touchdown. I'll have to see it. In fairness, this is my ACC. This is one half of my ACC championship matchup. I think the world of the potential of Georgia Tech this year. I have no earthly idea what to expect from Colorado. That's why I'm not betting any of my money on this, nor am I suggesting you bet any of your money on this, at least officially. It's free country. Well, depending on what state you live in, it's free country to bet on this stuff. You do what you want to, though. I'm going to put a 7 on this one because the line makes little sense to me. Now, I do know there is a very baseline way of thinking about this. The baseline way is, all right, what conference is Colorado in? They're in the Big 12. Where do we think Georgia Tech would stack up in the Big 12? That's where I differ, because I think they're a very, very upper echelon Big 12 team. But even the model would suggest, no, they're probably a mid-tier to slightly upper-tier Big 12 team. Well, I disagree with that fundamentally. So it's me versus the model in week 1. See, people think that it's just synonymous, me, the model, me. No. We fight all the time. I hate that it bleeds over on air like this. It's like the kids seeing the parents fight. We don't like that. But I'm going to put a 7 on this. Now, we'll see. That 7 is not because I'm concerned. God bless Deion Sanders. Love the program out there. I believe in Brent Key, too. But the model is telling me that I should be concerned. So I'll have some blind concern on that one.